you'll see that your life will just dramatically change. And now you're building a life around what really matters to your soul.
We all communicate with nature. It's a part of us.
Ooh, there we go. I love it. Welcome everyone. I was watching the video and I forgot to light the sage, but come on in and get our weekly saging. You know, if there's anything you want to let go right now, send it into the smoke. And it's going away now. Just a little refresher for all of us. Sending it through to everyone who needs it today. And me. Yep, I always need it. So it's that time of year where I panic and I'm trying to find something for my grandkids, and the budget is limited. And so it's like, oh my God, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And there is something that's shining out this season that I would like to share with all of you. And it is a book by our guest right there, Ella's Inner Journey, The Power of Children, written by Jacqueline Pirtle. I mean, isn't that like the most beautiful sounding thing? A book that's empowering? And so I want to welcome you to our show, Jacqueline.
Thank you so much for having me. I mean, this is like my second time on your show.
Yes.
It's been a while, and I was just really excited because I love being on your show.
I agree. I think it's fun. No, and we love having you. It's always fun doing what we do and sharing with each other and finding others and relating. I totally love it. So anyway, I really want to know about this book. You've been going on book tours and reading it to children. Can you share some of that with us?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the thing is, it's like my work is all, energetic driven, energetic living, energetic businessing and everything. And I've had this book already for a little bit of a while and held it really close to my heart. And then Ella was published and we revealed it actually on a live TV show, which was really fun. And so far, Ella has taken me on a real journey. I feel like it's like so much bigger than me, the whole book and everything. And it's also like what's so beautiful is that I feel like Ella is leading the journey, so I know, right? Isn't it? So there's so many amazing things that are coming my way and I couldn't even have imagined them actually. So Ella's Inner Genie is really speaking about, the voice of everyone really, because everyone has an inner genie. And the character is Ella, as you can see, and she lives in a very diverse family. And so she has that just inner calling and inner voice that tells her what to do. And when she follows it, it feels good. And when she doesn't, it doesn't feel so good. So she calls that voice my inner genie, right? Because she doesn't really know what it is. And she also thinks that her brother has it too, because he's kind of like, doing life the same way. She also thinks that the granny that lives with them has it too, because she kind of always knows when to hug, what to say. But she then thinks that her parents don't really have it, because a lot of times they clash, right? She wants to follow her inner genie and her parents ask her to do something different. So she thinks, well, I don't know what it is, but maybe it's a superpower for children. But then again, granny is older. So you can literally, the book, it takes the reader through these emotions and thought processes, right? And it's a very interactive book where Ella speaks to the children, speaks to the reader. Hi, I'm Ella. What's your name? Can you say it a little louder? I didn't hear it. And I have potatoes in my ears. At least that's what my parents say, because I'm always so busy in my head, right? So it kind of like sets the stage for that. And then, of course, there's like the clash of the titans. We all know it, right? With the children, where the parents say, hey, come on inside. Ella is not ready. And then she gets angry and the parents don't budge. And it's really beautifully written without any finger pointing, exactly the way it is. Always with Ella, how she thinks about it and how she processes it. And then the parents sit down with Ella and say, why are you so explosive? And then she's brave enough to actually say, well, there's this inner voice I have, and I call it my energy, but I spill the beans because I don't think you have it. And then in that conversation, the parents then say, wait a minute, we have that too. And then comes that that reawakening also for a grown-up to say, I have an inner voice too. And then the parents see Ella in a different light, because she's not just difficult, she's actually following her inner voice, her inner genie. And by the way, I have one too. And then they create, like, the inner genies are like you see here, it's like colorful, and then it comes out of the mom too, out of the dad. They make a rainbow together, and then they ask Ella to be the teacher of happiness, to teach everyone, and I mean really everyone. They're inviting it to the inner genie day to teach about how to listen better to your inner voice, and it creates this beautiful rainbow and color. And in the beginning of the book, the children can claim it by write their name in it, and at the end there's some work pages in it too.
Wow.
It's almost like a journal type, private journal thing for the children. And the interesting part is that what I'm seeing is that younger kids really love it because they see themselves in it. Yeah, that happens to me too, because in the book it asks, does that ever happen in your house? Do you ever get that explosive? And these children say, yeah. And also with the caregivers and teachers and parents, they look at this like, well, wait a minute, that's actually really how it happens. And I have an inner genie too. I can't hear it, so I'm going to go meditate or go walk in the forest or whatnot, and to go and hear my inner genie too. So it's really helping everyone to go onto a stage, a plateau where there's more understanding, but also like a reawakening of, hey, I have an inner voice too. And when was the last time I followed it, right?
Oh my gosh, this book is so brilliant on so many levels. I love what you're doing.
Yeah, it makes me really happy. And yes, you said I'm a book tour. Well, it's just a reading tour. So I've been in school and read it to 60 children. And I've been in the Y and to have like camp type hours and whatnot. And the ages range really big there. I've had a couple reading events the last 2 weeks, and I'm going to be in a children's museum in Tampa downtown soon. And then I also kind of teamed up with the children's sport, where we're going to hold a reading. I think it's December 27th in Ybor, Tampa, where the families actually will receive a copy of the book. So we're really trying to make it inclusive. So even people that, or families that can't, they don't have the budget for it. It's not an expensive book, but I realize the different situations for everyone. So we're kind of teaming up with different organizations to make it possible, for the children to come for a reading, and every child gets a goodie bag and there's coloring pages in it, right? And then also, like some organizations and events, the families actually receive the book then, which is very dear to my heart.
Oh my gosh, I love all this. I love this. So let's talk about how you got from where you were into writing this book now, because you've written other books too.
Yeah, I've written over
Let's
60
touch on
books
them.
by now. Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
I love writing books, reading too, but I love writing books, and all of my books are in the, under the rooftop of like empowerment and happiness and journaling and finding your inner you, and aligning with who you are, embracing who you are, and always kind of realizing that you're always new, right? You're always changing. And to base everything on the inside of you and not on the outside. And because that's all based on my holistic and healing practitioner work, which is energy healing and psychic and mediumship and all that. And I've been doing my work over 25 years now. And in reality, I do a few things besides the books, which is help individuals, conscious individuals, how to live a more aligned life. And also like conscious leadership. And then I have like a couple podcasts. One is more on the spiritual side, where it gives you weekly input in like little tidbits and what you can focus on during the week to live a better life. And then the other one is the corporate happiness show, to bring happiness and energetic businessing, more into the workplace and whatnot. So but it all ties together. So I do many different things, but it all ties together into one thing, which is finding you, right? Energetic businessing, energetic living, and also like how you can kind of implement that and stay with it on a spiritual side, on an energetic side. You just live your life the way it's aligned for you. It's really all under the same rooftop. So, and a children's book was on my mind. I mean, we talked about it, I think, after the show last time. You mentioned, you said, I see you with a children's book. I said, yep, it's actually in the doing. So that's always been on my mind, to write something where the children feel heard. Like I had a child after the reading come up to me and say, finally somebody wrote a book that actually speaks for me the way I feel, and it's actually me.
Wow.
It's almost like I say these words. So obviously,
how did that feel meeting her?
Oh, it was amazing, because it's not a story about Ella. Ella speaks to the children interactively, and it shifts literally everyone that actually is in the room listening. So, it felt amazing. And you know what I do at the end of the readings? Yeah, in the beginning, the kids look at me like, what, in a genie superpower? And then they start seeing themselves in the book, in the situations. They start realizing what it is. And then I always end the reading with, where is your energy? And they all go to the heart. And then I say, can you put your hands there and close your eyes and see if you can hear it, if you can sense it, smell it, if you can imagine it, whatever it is. And they sit there and whatnot. And then I ask how it feels. And it's amazing. It's like it shifts them while they're listening to this story. And they say warm, they say beautiful. Yesterday, a child said, not loud enough. I said, oh my gosh, so you know what to do? He says, yes, but louder. And then sometimes I ask, well, what is your inner genie telling you right now? And then you hear these powerful things: to never give up.
Oh,
I mean, just like these children, they have it all in them, just like everyone else does too. And it's to give them almost like the tool to speak up and to really realize what this is. And then the parents, they're like, wait a minute, wow, I have that too, right? It's like this wonderful, it's like conscious parenting, right? I mean, I love it.
It's like you're awakening a bunch of seeds that are ready to grow. You know what I mean? Just by giving them that voice and a character that's like them. Bringing it forward.
Absolutely. And Ella is also like I say, she's growing up in a very diverse world. It was important to me to make it diverse. And also, like, she's a little tomboy. She does whatever she likes, her hair, whatever. It's like, I kind of wanted to do it that way. And to me, it's just really important that that realization of children, that's actually a superpower. And then the realization of parents that the children are actually not, bad or difficult. It's like, usually it's just that they follow their inner voice. Does that mean Ella doesn't have to go inside when her parents say that? Well, that's up to the debate, right? I'm not in your family, basically. That's none of my business in reality. But that's not what this book is about, right or wrong or finger pointing. This book is about realizing that everyone has an inner voice. And usually when difficult situations come with your children, to look there first and say, is this because my child is following what that inner voice is saying? Because then you see your child very different, and you will react different. You will say, oh, that's amazing that you're following your inner voice. I see that you want to keep playing outside. How great is that? Now, how much more time do you need, for instance, right? Why
exactly.
not? Or say, you know what, could we maybe do that tomorrow? And could we change that today and do that today here or something? Because I just feel like from there versus from anger or thinking your children are difficult, there's going to be a much better discussion happening.
Yes.
And who knows, the parents may actually find, which I have grown children and I always found that, like, right, I'm like, well, why am I even doing this that way? Well, for me, it would actually be better too to stay 10 more minutes outside and just kind of relax before I go in. Why not do that, right? And to kind of just give this a chance. And In reality, I wrote also a parenting book. It's a conscious parenting book, parenting through the eyes of lollipops, because I think that if parents could just look through the lenses of lollipops more
Wow.
often, I think different feelings, it's very heart opening and fun feelings will come up, and the situation looks very different if you pretend to be a lollipop and look through that sweetness, right? So to just kind of realize that there's many different ways, and so many times as a parent myself too, I did something or I felt like I need to do it that way. And when I looked at it, I'm like, oh, my kids don't want to do it that way. Well, wait a minute. I actually don't want to do it either that way. And it never worked anyway. So why not follow the children and give this a little bit of chance? Because I think really good stuff can come out of that.
Ah, no kidding. I just see so many levels of brilliance with this. Like the confidence, not just awakening, there's confidence here for everyone to find that voice. This is something that can stick with kids even when they walk away from the book. They're going to be having this. Well, kids and adults, like you said, they're going to be walking away paying better attention. So, like, what a miracle you brought through, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I'm excited. I already have the next book idea because Ella is here to stay. And we also, what I want to show you is, which is really cool. So I have a friend in New York. Her name is Larissa Anderson. You can find her on Instagram, Crochet Cafe, Larissa Crochet
Ooh,
Cafe. And
yeah.
she crochets. So I asked her and said, Larissa, could you maybe make Ella, the character, as a doll? So she actually said, I will. So she went and she hand makes these Ella character dolls. And when I go to readings, the children can actually hug them and give them
Oh,
to every child. And, and yes, they're also for purchase too. But I just want to show them real quick. They're
oh, look at,
amazing. And she does
yeah.
them like we do very kind of different ones. There we go. You do
Oh,
very different.
nice.
So it's like very inclusive. And she actually made a red head for me and it sold yesterday. There
Oh,
was a
oh,
girl
wow.
just saying, oh my gosh, I want it. So
Ah,
it's really I want to make this fun, and so it speaks to the kids, but they can also then they listen to the story, they hug Ella, and it's an experience. I want this book to be an experience for the whole family when they're listening. And that's why I made worksheets too. So parents can actually email me and they get worksheets to take this further along at
oh,
home,
heck yeah.
and coloring pages. And so it's just this whole thing, the whole experience. And one thing that's really exciting is also we already translated it into Spanish, so it's
Oh,
now available
yay.
in Spanish. And then we also translated it into Italian, German, and French, and those will publish probably next week. So we're really wanting this. It's a emotional intelligence book.
Heck
And
yeah.
I have schools looking at it, it's like, wow, Jacqueline, this is a curriculum. It's a curriculum. It's like to really teach everyone. And I think, I want to say this is the future of living happy, but it's not even the future. It's always been that way. But I think, especially right now, where so many people are just really kind of reeling in how this is going to move forward and they feel like the world is crumbling. I always look at it, no, it's not crumbling. It's an invitation for different, and the
Yes,
different to me
change.
has always been that way. I've always lived that way since so many years, and I call it like an energetic way of living and businessing, to just realize that you're more than just a physical body, and however you want to name it, you can name it spiritual, you can name it energetic. It's really just to be mindful and conscious about it, and to just realize that you actually have these tools inside of you. And if we can bring this across to children already, just think about it. It's amazing, them already growing into it and growing up like that. And the healing process for the parents that are basically now stepping into that and bringing this to the children too is huge. It's enormous, really enormous.
I love that. And did you see what Mandy B said? This is really going to help many people. This is phenomenal.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I mean, like I said, I'm over the moon about the reaction and everything. And it's like, this is not even about me anymore, writing a book. This is
Yes.
about Ella going into how does schools. And like I always say, Ella's going to St. Pete and Ella is going to Tampa Children's Museum. It has nothing to do with me. I'm just there to read it because I'm the one that wrote it, and I think that brings value to it. I'm also like the healing practitioner behind it. So
Yeah.
I see things very, very deeply and read energies and whatnot. But to me, it has nothing to do with me anymore. And I know you see that too, right? You read stuff and you do the energetic work, and it's not about me, it's about the bigger picture. I'm here to do this. I'm here to support Ella in her journey. And that's what makes me so happy, because I told actually my husband, said, I need an Ella bus. That's it. I need an Ella bus. Think about when I come to readings and these children see an Ella bus. I mean, it's just the whole thing about Ella is just really, really energizing.
And animation shows. I mean, come on.
I know, right? I know, right? Yeah, I know. And maybe if I may say and mention that a book always, involves many people, right? So it's the author, which that will be me, but then there's also, in this book an illustrator, and her name is Elisa Brondolo. She's from Italy, and she's a dear friend of mine. We used to live in Italy, so I met her, and she's a professional creator, digital, and also like art, the old, the manual style. And she actually did all the illustrations, and the collaboration, how when something is meant to be, it's just, I came up with the story, with the idea, I gave it to her, and she came back with the first draft, and that was Ella. And that's how this happened. And so she's over the moon that her illustrations are actually in so many countries and in schools in America while she's in Italy, and it's amazing. And then the book cover designer, she's from Germany. She's done all of my books, so she took the design from Elisa and made this beautiful cover. So it's just everyone in this. And my daughter, she's the chief editor for all of my books. She's a businesswoman. She's amazing, and she has a hand in it too. So it's just everyone involved in this book is just amazing. Everything just fits, all of my books, but this one just seems to carry itself wonderfully. So I wanted to give a shout out to that, because it takes a team to do such a great production. It really does.
It's true. And then the book, I mean, any project you do becomes a being in itself because of all the love and intention that you put into it. And then when that's ready to take off, you kind of got to stand back and let it do its thing, don't you?
That's what I feel like. It's like, actually, my husband put it the right way. He says, Jacqueline, I'm watching this, like this Ella, giving birth to Ella, and I feel like the people just are lining up behind you to make this more forceful, and everyone just follows you and Ella. It's like, he says, it's insane. It's so good. And I think it's because, well, first of all, it's a book for children. That, to me, it's like, my flagship book is 365 Days of Happiness. And that was a big hit too. All of my books made it really well, but that was big too, because it's happiness. It has a cupcake in front, and that opens hearts, right? You're like, 365 Days of Happiness. I could use some happiness. And there's a beautiful cupcake on it, right? And with Ella, if you think about it, it's a children's book, and she goes like that, and it comes out of her heart. So it sets the energy already really good. Like, people look at it like, wow, and it opens their heart, and it's for children, and an inner genie, and I have a voice too, and I can actually make this a harmonious dance with my children going through life, right? So you see that it's just this beautiful, beautiful project. That's just, yes, I can simply just stand there and say, like, oh my gosh, this is so amazing. I'm so happy about it, really. Yeah.
I love that. I want to switch to like the creative process. When this came to you, was it like a download, or is Ella a part of your inner child, or you know what I mean? Is the characters in it, are they different parts of you, or that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I mean, all of my work, I always feel like I download it.
Okay.
It's like when I wrote 365 Days of Happiness, I had no idea it's going to be a book, right? I just said, oh, I'm just going to start writing, and then it happened, and I'm told what to do with it. And then the next book was The Parenting Through the Eyes of Lollipops. It's just I walked around like hours and hours, just walk, and it just downloaded itself. And then I sat in the backyard and just wrote the book, and it has step programs. So it's like a real teaching manual in that book about parenting. It's insane. And then I said, okay, I think I'm good now. I have 2 books. I'm gonna take a little bit of break of writing. And then I'm standing in the bathroom, and then I'm told, nope, you're actually not done. You are not done. The next book, I said, what's the next book? Well, the next book is what it means to be a woman. I'm like, what? Really? I have no idea what I'm gonna write. And yes, I'm a woman, but hey. And it's become a really amazing book, how to claim the power, and in the inside, no matter what the outer world does. So it's just kind of, and last year I was guided to write all these journals. Every month, pick a different subject. One subject, for instance, is being open. And it's because if you're closed, not much can happen. So how can we open up? So you journal one whole month, or 3 months if you'd like to, about being open, and it's energetic, real energetic writings in these journals. It's not just today I'm open about. No, it's real. There's meaning to it, energetic, right? It's like it's a frequency, and it's helping so many people. It's amazing to kind of do that process to change your life. And the children's book is the same. I just knew I wanted to write a children's book because I love children and I love young people. I think they just hold so much amazingness in there. And I always listen what they have to say, and I always want to learn from them. I always want to pick their brains, right? Even the young ones, right? Because it means so much, because I think they know what they just know really well. And so I downloaded the story, and I mean, I wrote it pretty okay. It has to be this, this, and then I sit a little bit on it and change it around, and then the process just unfolds that. However, I want to tell you that now that Ella is out, and I'm reading it to children, now I have this, like, this idea. I'm like, oh, wait a minute, that was actually me too when I was little, so but when I started the book, it's a download. This is what I'm here for. This is the work I'm here to do. Just follow it. Do not question it. Just, what to do. Just do it. And because I have so much help, energetically, so much help. And that's the thing. And now that it's a product, it's a book, and I'm reading it, now comes I learn from that too. Does that make sense?
Yes, especially so. Isn't it true? I mean, when we put ourselves out there and do a project, we end up getting a lot of growth, because the whole process of it.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. It's like the whole process. It's like, and sometimes your brain gets in the way, right? I'm the physical life me, right? So it's like, wait a minute, and then my author says, do not question. No. Go with just what to do. There is a reason that it's beyond what you can even think about it in your mind. And I know better than that. That's my work I do. That's how I help people too. So I just do it, and then basically I know exactly what to do. So yeah, I have a kitty in here. I'm so sorry.
What a blessing.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. She's like, yeah. So, but anyway, so yeah,
maybe
that's kind of.
We'll get a cat one day.
I know. So yeah.
Oh, that's really neat. I love it. So what else are you doing? Is this pretty much taking up everything right now, going on the tours with Ella, or are you still working on other projects?
Yeah, I always work on so many projects. And like I said, I have the Corporate Happiness Show, which publishes every 2 weeks. And that's dear to me because it's really, really amazing people coming in from HR, young people, and from all sorts of, and to really talk about how to make the workplace happier, because to me, it's very, very dear to it. And then I have the Weekly Freak, which publishes, the podcast publishes every Monday. And it's really short about a subject. And so people can focus on that. And then, of course, I have the next Ella idea. So I can't stop anymore. And Yeah, and then I have my private clients, like with sessions or with monthly programs, and I help people, individual, corporations, or leadership, whoever. Usually I don't really advertise my work that I do with people. It's people just find me and they say, hey, I want help with that, and then that's what I do.
Oh, that's so neat. Can you give a plug into where they can find it? It's on Amazon, right?
Yes, the book is actually on Amazon. You can find it. And also, you can find it on my website. It's freakyhealer.com. You can find all my books there, my work and events. So, also, like, I mean, if you have, to all the listeners, if you have a place or community or school or whatnot that would like a reading, I do that. I travel, or we can do it online or whatnot. We will figure it out, because it's really dear to me that it goes to as many children as possible. So, but yeah, freakyhealer.com, or on Amazon. All my books are on Amazon too, worldwide. You could also just walk into a bookstore and they can order it. They might have it.
Oh,
Depends
neat.
a little bit. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, wow.
And
That
then
would be
if you
so
get it, you
cool.
can email me on my website. There's a link where you can email me, and I can give you the worksheets and coloring pages and like the extra material for Ella, because to me it's really important that you can take it home and then you can keep working on it with your children. It's really good.
I love that. I see. First, I was thinking of the gift for the grandchildren, right? And then I was trying to decide, should it be for me to keep and read to them, or give it to them to read? And then I'm thinking, the teachers need to
Yeah,
read this to their classrooms too and stuff. So it'd be
yeah,
a great classroom gift if anybody wanted to do that. And I can't
yeah.
wait
I
to see it in
actually
a bookstore. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I actually have some teachers that where I went and read the book, and they bought it for themselves to have
Oh,
it in the classroom, so they can
yes.
actually read it to the children. And then one mom actually told me that she thinks it's a really meaty book, like there's a lot of meaning to it, and that every time you read it, it's a different
Oh,
meaning. It's wonderful, so it never stops, kind of. So what they do is they don't they well, they read the whole book, but now they go chunk by chunk through it, right?
oh,
And
neat.
then they talk with their children about it, because it creates a space where you can bring it up with your children. Like yesterday at the reading, I had a family come in. It was the one little girl. At the end, we were already done, and then I said, oh, come on in, that's fine, I'll read it to you, just to you. So we
Oh,
sat down, and then the parents then said, yeah, those are some big feelings, right? So I look at them and I said, oh, so emotional intelligence, you're very very aware of it. And they're like, yeah, oh, yeah, absolutely, we're teaching that to her, we're talking about it at home. So when I read that book to that little girl, she knew about it, and she knew, and she was tiny, and it was just amazing. So I told the parents, I said, I am just, wow, I am so proud of you, and I'm so in love with you guys, because it's just amazing that she gets to grow up like that. And so I think no matter where you are in your energetic or spiritual journey, and how old you are, really, this book speaks to you, it really does. And it means, for everyone, it means something different, and every time you read it, it means something different.
yeah. Isn't
And I
that
think
neat?
it gives parents and teachers a way to discuss this subject that is just so important. So I like
Ah,
that.
especially for the times that we're in, because I've always held like the belief that like after 2016 there were children being born that would have more of their Akashic memories and things. And so here we are, and they're school age now, all of these, and they're going to need that extra support from all of us, not just what they need to learn, but what we need to learn from them.
Oh,
And I feel
absolutely.
that you're right there, intertwined in all of this. And well, Ella is intertwined in all of this, and I just love it.
Yeah.
Congratulations, you.
Thank you. Thank you. But like I said, it's congratulations. I'm having a real good time with Ella. However, it's really congratulations to the world. And I think congratulations to me, that I'm open and connected enough and realizing enough in what my journey is, right? Because years ago it was very different, but I just always listen. And that's also how I keep myself healthy, and always clean and everything. But Ella there's no but, however, Ella, that she's there, like I said, it takes a village to do this book, and then it takes the openness also from my family, for instance, to say yes, mom, or my wife, go for it, this is beautiful.
Isn't it
And
true?
so it's like I would say that it's just congratulations to the world to have this actually be allowed to be in the world, and the reaction from all these people. I always say thank you so much to the parents for bringing your children, because it has nothing to do with me. It has to do that I'm just loving where this is going, because it's for the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Love that. Yeah.
Yeah, this is amazing. Yeah. So, um, I was going to start the 3 questions that we have toward the end of the show now, but there's still, discussion with all of them and stuff. And I just wonder what Ella's favorite crystal is. But what's yours right now? What's your favorite crystal you're working with?
Well, see, the thing is, I might be a little bit a funny one. I think Ella is that way too. Like, to me, it's like whatever I find when
Yeah.
I go on my walks and whatnot. It's like, it's so amazing and powerful. Like, for instance, some neighbors down the street, they redid their driveway and they filled it with these glittering stones. And every time I walk by, I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel showered with this bright light. This is amazing.
Wow.
So they said, well, why don't you take one? I said, oh, thank you. So I took, so that's the thing, is like, to me, it's like my favorite is always what's right there in front of me. And I'm just so aware and so mindful and conscious about my steps that I take during the day, that's really my favorite, to just write what's there, right? What's glittering, that's what it is.
Isn't it true though? I mean, as children, what do we notice first? We notice the rocks that are all around us, and oh, look at the shape of this one, look at the color of this one. And talk about driveways. My mom used to make me go knock on the door and get permission, but there's these white rocks that had sparkles on them, that were flat and round, and I was just so in love with them. And then I'd have to go get permission, and then I could grab one.
It's the right thing to do. That's what I would not have picked one off just like that either. But they said, well, why don't you take one? I'm like, oh my gosh. And I felt like so amazing. And I'm picking that rock. Like which one is sparkling the most? Which one is speaking to me? How did it make me feel? And they're just looking at me like, but that's kind of the way I live life. And I would say, like you say, children, they just know. We got kind of like, no, I got to go to the store and get that, right? Something like that. But actually, it's like when you follow the children, it's like, oh, what's glittering right there or whatever. And it touches you. Like, that actually brings a conversation up that I had with somebody. They said, so how do you, Jacqueline, there's so much in the world all day long. It's hot, buzzing, right? How do you keep just kind of clean, right? And just like, do not kind of get immersed in all that's out there. And I said, well, to me, life is there to experience. I'm here to experience everything. Whatever I see, it's there for me to experience. But then there are these things that really touch me deeply. Like really, it's you can't not notice it. They touch me, they shift me right there. Those are the things, the experiences, or the things like these rocks that I then carry with me. The rest is, to me, it's a colorful world. It's a diverse world. There's so much out there and it's beautiful, and I just take it. But I take only what's shifting my heart, or what's shifting me right there on the spot. That's what I take with me. And that's how I enjoy life the way it is. And then I take with me what shifts me. And I'm always constantly aligning, and I stay clean moving forward. And I don't have to say, no, I need to protect myself, this and that. I can just say, I'm just enjoying life.
Yeah.
And I take with me what's really shifting me. And that way you constantly shift. You always knew. You always kind of on track of why you're here, right? You know what I'm saying?
Most exciting every day. What a perception or perspective, whichever one fits. I love that, because it changes everything when you have the adventurous heart ready to go without
Yeah.
all the
And then
doors slamming.
I also think then you're not going down that rabbit hole of judging or because
Yes.
you're overwhelmed or whatnot. No, it's just everything just is. And who do I want to be in that? And then take with you what shifts you. So if you're sad and you're feeling good in that sadness, be sad, enjoy it, shower in it. It's
Yeah.
wonderful to be able to be sad. And then
Yeah.
when you're not sad anymore, to catch that point and say, oh, that, or I'm sad. And when it doesn't feel good anymore, to catch and say, okay, I kind of done with being sad. Well, what shifts me, right?
It's
Oh,
true.
there's a beautiful rock right there. Well, I'm going to shift with that rock. And that's what I carry in my heart until the next shift. So that's kind of like to step by step, kind of like.
Ah, I love that. For me, I use music as a shift a lot of times, and sometimes I need to match my mood with the song first. Because if I have unexpressed anger that I'm not even in touch with, and I'm listening to a few, songs, and it's like, oh, suddenly there I am. I'm singing the song, and I'm getting in touch with what it is, and then move to the happier songs, right? And then
Right.
get
Yeah.
until I get the space that I really want. And
I
that
like
brings,
that. I like that a lot. Yeah. And
yeah,
music is great for that. I mean, really great for that.
yeah, that's why I cannot deny it as a motivator or a healer, for sure. But that brings me to the second question then. So what's your theme song right now? It's all so exciting. What could it be?
I think what really pumps me and what really touches my heart is Cover Me in Sunshine by Pink and her
Oh,
daughter. That is
oh,
just, oh my gosh, it's like, I don't know if you know the song, but it's so beautiful because Pink, she sings together with her daughter, and she has obviously a younger voice, and it's so clean, and it's so, I
wow.
feel like,
Ooh, chills.
uplifting. And it's like Cover Me in Sunshine. Yes, I'm in. That's
Oh,
amazing. So yeah, that's, I would say that's my life, fitting right now. And it's like it's a beautiful song too. It's like really meaningful, and because it's very heavy in many places, to just realize. And then also, like, I feel like the simplicity of the words, Cover Me in Sunshine. Well, you know you can find some sunshine, be it from the sky, from the sun itself, be it through music, be it through, smelling something beautiful or tasting something beautiful, or just looking up in the sky, even if it's gray, paint it somehow in your imagination. Well, how would you like it if you don't like it gray? Maybe blue today, maybe pink today, and then kind of imagination, and it's like, so I think Cover Me in Sunshine is very, very meaningful because it's
yeah.
actually pretty simple to do that.
I see it. It totally matches your vibration anyway, your adventurousness and stuff.
Yeah,
I
I
I,
know.
I love that.
Yeah, yeah,
So the
yeah.
next question, I wanted to go with it two ways because it's always an exciting question. So we're always asking, what sort of extra dimensional experience have you had recently? Like have you seen any UFOs and things? But I also want to know, what are the experiences or something you could share with us from your very own inner genie?
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, for my own inner genie is to just really, well, it's usually like to not make things complicated and just go with it, because I feel like that's really what I'm asked to step into. Because Ella as a book was planned on publishing, and then, on promoting and whatnot. However, like the book readings and whatnot, I kind of just came into that was just, I don't even know how that started. Even revealing the book on TV, that was not planned, that just kind
Woohoo.
of happened that way, obviously. And I'm like, oh, this is exciting, right? To just kind of go. And then there was a book reading, and there's this, there's that. And to just really not make it complicated. Jacqueline, don't make it complicated, stay simple, and just put your heart in it. And Ella knows the way to just kind of like, that's what my inner genie personally says, because I do like order, and I do like, I'm from Switzerland, so I'm, usually punctual, and have kind of like some sort of, I don't know, some sort of plan. But
Right.
this is ripping me out of everything, really. And it's asking me to really, like you say, step aside, Jacqueline, and let Ella go. And you just go behind Ella and you just walk the walk. Just go and just don't make it complicated and just go with it. And that's what I'm practicing to
Yeah.
let go. And because I do believe that holding on to too many plans and complications and the way we want it to be can actually lead us in a different direction than you're kind of supposed to go, right? And that's the thing. So I'm really asked to step out of me and just step out of the way and just go with it and have a blast, laugh all the way and enjoy it. And yeah, just do that. And what I'm learning is the more I do that, the happier I get. The more I
Oh,
do that, the
yes.
healthier I get, the more energy I have. And also the other thing is the more this is unfolding, the more Ella is unfolding. We're talking about like now New York and Virginia, and with the translations, they were not planned. These translations, that was just like
Really?
Jacqueline in the middle of the night,
Oh,
translate them. I'm like,
oh
oh,
yeah.
yeah, that's actually a good idea. So, and I found the translators like that, and
Really?
then
Yeah,
found the
neat.
beta readers like that. And then basically just, and everyone is behind it. It's wonderful. And they're already talking in other countries about, wow, we need that in the schools and whatnot. So,
Heck yeah.
to really just step out of my way,
Oh yeah.
that's really one thing. Yeah, I would say that's what my inner genius is telling me. Just Jacqueline, give it up already. Just go, And that's what I'm doing. So, yeah.
And then we have Gina Palazzo here. Just placed order of 2 books. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gina. Thank you. I really appreciate it. If you want to, you can email me and then I can email you the extra material. Absolutely. That would be amazing. And it's info@freakyhealer.com. You can email me and I'll happily email you coloring pages and all that good stuff.
Gina does this really neat artwork. I can't even know how she does it, but I admire her. And she even sent me one in pencil, like
Oh,
pencil artwork.
wow.
Yeah, so she's creative and sends like healing artwork.
Oh,
Um,
I love
I'd
that.
have to say it is healing because it activates things and
Oh,
stuff. So
yeah.
so it's really exciting. So I'm
That's
glad that she's
amazing,
getting your
Gina. That's
book.
amazing. Where can I find, or where can anyone find Gina's work?
Well, Gina, we're going to have to talk about that someday and find out. I don't know if Gina does it publicly or if she's just doing it for friends. So Gina, if you want to let us know anything, send it there, or maybe when you guys email and talk to each other and to get those
That's
extra
amazing.
pages.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's amazing. Thank you so
Isn't
much,
it a
Gina. Love it.
beautiful family we have here? I just love all the creativity. Man, I am so inspired today. That's what today was for me, so inspiring. And so I really, really want to thank you
Well,
for
thank you
bringing this
too for
through.
having me. And I remember you saying, I think it was after the show last time, you're like, I see you with a children's book. And I
Yeah,
never will forget that. So I thank you actually, because it kind of, put a little bit of steam behind me. And then to say, okay, that's what you wanted to do. So here you
because
are.
it's true. Okay, what I was seeing or sensing in your energy then, I was actually seeing you with children. And it's obvious it has to be a book that's getting you out there with them. But I seen what you were doing for children, and they were different ages and stuff, but just your
Yeah.
presence, and I could feel all their energy around you, and it's like, oh yeah, you're doing
Yeah,
something for
that's it, right?
kids.
And I kind of feel that too, that Ella is not just a book on my website to buy or a book through Amazon. It's really me being with the kids. And I've actually had another person say, you know what, Jacqueline, I see you. It's almost like on a stage and there's all these children and you actually
That's it.
you're reading through a microphone. I'm like, yes, sign me up. I want to do it. That's amazing. And I think it's also like, when I see children, actually, when I see anyone, to me, I don't, but we'll talk about children. When I see children and when I speak to them, I don't see children. I don't speak to children. I speak to another being. It's not the
Yes.
age. It's not, and I'm curious to hear from them. It's like we're equal, we're the same, we have the same tools and everything. And children can feel that, because it's like these kids, they sit there and they listen. They don't say anything. They just listen, and they really live this book, right? When it asks them to be active and whatnot. And it's like, they're also what they're sharing with me. I feel like I just met them, right? I mean, it's like, and some kids are kind of like maybe shy, but they would normally not really just say that. But I really see children as beings, and not as children that I need to talk down or teach
Yeah,
something. It has
yeah.
not, no, actually, it's an exchange, and I learned so much from being with them. Like that girl yesterday that said, my inner genie tells me to never give up.
Woohoo.
And I looked and I said, you know what? Thank you for that reminder. Thank you so much. And because I felt like I just got the biggest gift ever. And it was from
Yes.
another being, not a child. And I think that really
Yes.
pays off, because children feel heard and seen, and they have a voice, and they are actually able to say what they want to say, right?
Yeah, isn't that the greatest? I love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ah,
Oh, and then one quick little story before we
yeah.
go is like yesterday, one girl, she came in a little late for the reading, and then yeah, and she was tiny too. And then she came in and she said, "I want a goodie bag." and then the parents were like, "Oh, she walks in and for because goodie bags is afterwards." But then I said, "Oh, I love it." I said, "Your inner genie is telling you want a goodie bag, so you already know what you're getting, and you can sit down and be excited." She says, "Yes, exactly." And so, well, she got her goodie bag before, and then the kids, of course, wanted to. But I love that about children, because it wasn't whoever said the goodie bag has to be at the end. That's just what we do, right? And I thought, well, you know what a great idea. You already set the tone of happiness for these children, and they look in and they're like, wow, this is so cool. I made sure I give really good goodie bags, and then they were sitting there and they were even more excited. So think about the energy we
Oh,
created
wow.
because of that child or that being coming into the room thinking, you know what we really need is the goodie bags first, because she just made this whole experience even better for everyone in the room. And
Yeah,
that's kind of what I'm talking about, right?
I love that. Why I like the reading so much is in the time past I used to help the first graders with their sight words. I did a little with the second graders, but the first graders who are like 6 and 7, they were like my favorite to work with, because they were just coming to the age where a word that you look at has meaning in their life. And like for a sight word like that and the and I had to make those words so inspiring. Like you can't have that piece of pie unless you could read that, or that. See, that's why it's so important that you need this word. And I would show them, and it was so much fun. And so I
I
just
love
love.
that. I love that. And you changed all these kids beings, right? We say
Yeah.
kids, but you changed all of their lives in the way they see everything because they had that interaction with you. That's wonderful. I love that.
And I so back then, if I would have had your book back then, I so would have also read that and awarded them, because I'd push them hard on this, because they had to get through these sight words at to the whole year. And at the end of the year, there was an ice cream party. And
Oh,
so, of
I
course,
love
they
it.
all wanted to go. And I'm trying to push them all ahead so that no one's left behind. Nobody's on level 3 while everybody else is on 15, right? And
Right.
I'm doing that. But, I would reward them with books that I had at home that we no longer wanted, that they could read. It's like, good, you passed this. Now you
I
can read
love
this
it.
book. Look at you. So your book would be perfect for that too. Just look at
I
this.
love
Look what
that.
you're doing.
Yeah,
Read
look what you,
this.
yeah, right. Yeah. And you know what I like what you're highlighting is like, I think like it's just to be aware of as a grown up, how you can actually really like the experience that you can, a long lasting experience you can really give on a child's way, because they'll never forget that. So when you interact with anyone, really, who you want to be or whatnot, who do I want to be with that person? But also with children, to realize that it's just, you can leave such a mark in a child's life or journey either way, right? And to really realize that when you empower them, and when you listen to them, and when you see them as equal, and and you take, like in the book, Ella becomes the teacher of happiness, because the parents say, can you just teach everyone, because you know so well how to do this, to listen to your inner genie. And Ella is like, oh my gosh, now I even feel wiser and better, because I'm
Happiness
actually,
leader.
the teacher of happiness. And every time in the readings, I said to the kids, do you guys like to be teachers of happiness? And they're like, yes. And then I said, how do you do it? They come up with all these. I smile at people, I compliment people. So it's just, I think you can really, you can really, really help kids to really, in their journey, they're never going to forget that, what you said to them, if it empowered them. So
I love that. Well, we're going to have you on again, because, your energy is so needing to be shared out there and everything. And I will send you pictures of me reading the book to my grandchildren.
Thank you so much. Thank you. That's wonderful. And then maybe if I can ask for, for anybody that's getting the book, to go to Amazon and leave a review. And the reason why, it's not even for me, it's just so people find the book easier when there is more reviews, basically. So that would be lovely. It's going to share the book wider. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, good idea. That matters a lot too. I love that. And so, for the people who share the show out each week, and who make comments, we pick from among them a winner. And the winner from last week is Michelle Hamady. And I want you to know, I haven't sent out the video for last week before, or for this week yet. I got to get the link, but I will get it to you, Michelle. And then the winner of last week, I'll get it to you too. But it's a beautiful soul spa meditation where you get to go back with Goddess Mott to ancient Egypt and take a bath in sound waves and energy waves, and just let everything clear out. And it's fun and it's healing. And so I'll be getting that to you. And then we'll be back again next week with another author of a children's book named, I had it until Ellen Hawkins. Right when I was going to say it, it disappeared. And so it's, oh my God, it's getting to be my favorite time of year, all this children's stuff coming out in the books.
Wonderful.
Ain't it? I love it. And so thank you all for joining us today. Check out this book, because you see, it's going to be empowering, not just to the kids, but to everyone around them. This is spreading happiness, and happiness spreads peace. So let's do this. And so I want to thank you all. And thank you, Jacqueline, for sharing.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you. Appreciate it so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Now I got to hit the banner again. Hang on. There we go. All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
You'll see that your life will just dramatically change. And now you're building a life around what really matters to your soul.
We all communicate with nature. It's a part of us.